Hello, and welcome to this series on how to create 3D assets using Photogrammetry for use within the Unreal 4 engine. This episode will focus on the acquisition of your photos and generating your high-poly mesh within attributes of MetaShape. Begin capturing your images, use a standard SLR camera or a HD smartphone. You want to have a reasonably high resolution with your camera? The higher is always better. The high quality of your photos will affect your solve, so you want to have the highest possible. You primarily want to shoot your files in RAW and then convert these into a TIFF file. It is however possible to use high-resolution JPEGs. In shooting, you take a 360 rotation of the intended object. The objective of this is to get as much coverage of the object as possible, as this will affect your solve. You usually want to have 40 to 80% of the object covered when you're doing your scan. It is important that you do not at any point move the object when you're taking your photos. The background movements such as passers-by can be handled by the software, but should be kept to a minimum, if not at all. I would recommend doing 3 rotations of the object at different elevations. However, you sometimes can get away with doing 2 depending on the complexity of the object and the coverage that you can get of it. I would recommend doing 1 at above angle, 1 at below angle, and 1 level of the object. When capturing an object inside, you should try to evenly light the object from all sides. Similarly, if you're shooting outside, you try to capture the object on overcast days, as to avoid hard shadows. Hard shadows will not only affect the scan's quality, but also bake these into your textures, which will mean they'll have to be delighted later on. I do not recommend taking a video for your images, as this lowers the quality of the image and then overall affects your scan. Glistening on wet surfaces should be avoided during capture. In addition, reflective or refractive surfaces, such as glass or metallic surfaces, can cause errors with scans. If you wish to scan an object like this, you can spray paint it and later add these textures on in Substance Painter. Now, with your acquired photos, we'll want to bring them into MetaShape. To do this, we're going to go to the Workflow tab and add photos. Just going to add the photos that we currently put into the scene. And the first step we're going to do is align the photos. And this is going to put our cameras into place around the object in 3D space. As you see here are all the settings that I currently have. You want to keep these relatively all the same. If you have a better, more high power PC, you might want to turn off generic pre-selection, though it's not required. You can change some of the type point limits, the keypoint limits. However, it's recommended to only keep this between 4,000 and 10,000. And we'll just find all these settings and we'll click OK. This is going to generate our point cloud. I'll skip ahead for this so you don't have to watch the rendering. Now that's done, you notice actually we've got a lot of extra points in the scene. These are all just garbage points that's been picked up from the background and background information, such as buildings and the grass that were taken from the actual photos itself. But we currently don't need any of this, so we're just going to at this point get rid of it. To do this, you can go to the selection tools. There's 3 different versions you can find. This personal preference, I say the freeform selection allows you for much more control. And we're just going to select the ones we don't need and just hit delete. This may take several minutes just cutting down on your points themselves and bring them to all the ones you need in the camera. You need to rotate the camera and just hit back onto the select tool. If currently your object looks as it should do, and you can resemble the object from your photos, then you want a good track. Otherwise, you may find that it's not currently be able to find enough information from the photo set to generate your actual object. Now that we've got all the coverage points, we're going to want to resize our region. Doing this will allow us just focus on the object itself and not generate anything outside the camera's limits. I'm just going to resize that to the actual object itself. And there we go. And the next step is to build a dense cloud. This will help bulk up our object and then bring it closer to bringing it to the mesh. The quality you may want to do medium. High will give you a better result, but it will take longer in rendering. Now as that's done, you may notice that there's still some points floating around your dense cloud that you don't want. For this, we're just going to use the same method of type points and select and delete these where we can. You may notice the bottom of your mesh has currently got nothing under it. This is usual when you don't do several clusters and do the opposite side of the object, as mesh shape can't scan beneath the object itself. For this, we're just going to need to close the holes, and we'll be doing this when we get up to the separating point. It is still possible to do this with a meta shape. If you go up to tool sections, you can use the close tool in the mesh section. Once you've satisfied your dense cloud, all you do is hit up to the workflow tab, click on build mesh, and make sure that you're rendering out a highest possible model, as we're using this as our high poly sculpt. As this would be too high to be put into a game engine, we'll be doing topology, but we'll be baking all this detail back on in Substance Painter. Now that's done, we're left with our 3D model. If you go up to the Models tab and go to the View menu, you can see it without the vertex colors it's made. You see it in a solid, and then we can see it also in wireframe. Once you're happy with your model, just go up to Export, Export Model, and then we're going to export this out as an OBJ. That's it for this tutorial. In the next part, we'll be doing the finalization for our high poly model and the retopology. Bye for now.